So maybe we move on to the Bali Reef. That's the maybe more nutrient. That's the LPS, Zoanti, the more perfect reef. Let's say that. What should we aim for? That what should be the characteristics? What would be the best corals for that reef?
So Bali Reef is the typical mixed reef, which I would say 80% of all reefers have a mixed reef. So they buy corals what they like, these corals which are easily available and not as that most expensive, which means they come from Bali, they come from Jakarta, from the farms, or from corals growing each other and buying on frack farms. So mixing with fish from Hawaii to whatever. And that's why I said is, like I write on the website, I write down the aquarium type that recreates these reef communities we call Bali Reef. So this is a community, it's completely mixed. And we don't do too much care of it if the Cebrasoma flavescens now can also swim in Bali Reef. Yeah, it can, and Hawaiian Reef don't look very nice, so nobody wants that. Because mostly rocks, some few corals and a lot of fish. So okay, it's a mixture reef. It's for the advanced reefers, not for the experts. Some experts like it, and we work a little bit more with fluorescent, with Ophidias, with LPS stuff, soft corals, gorgonians, zoanthus, shrooms, or whatever. And for that kind of reef, which presents a little bit the more inner reef side, not the outer reef side, can adjust a little bit more nutrients and don't need too much energy and water parameters like in the SPS reef. So we want to show that this is a little bit more simple as the expert reef, let me say it on that way.
In terms of nutrition, for example, a little bit more feeding and a nitrate of near up to 10 could be good.
Yeah, 3 to 10 phosphate 004 to 008, like in this one, a little bit lower light, a little bit more feeding, and definitely more different types of corals, nice rock structures. And we are not as that strict on the animals where they come from. We choose the animal, Bali I take, and this area, this coral triangle, I trade because there you have the most different species together in one part. Because you have the influence from the Yellow Sea, you have the influence from the Indonesian, you have the Indo-Pacific and from the Pacific, and there you find that much different kind of animals, which is only comparable to the rainforest in Brazil. No one in the world you have so many species on one point, and I think this is what the people today like to want to have. So this is the fascinating and to keeping so many different animals on so small spot, and this is Bali Reef because Bali is this hotspot in the world. So if you go to the north, the black sand areas to the south is different, and all creatures living there. And this is for me the fascinating. And that's why it's Bali Reef. It's a mixed reef, which is usually made.
So in terms of lighting, you said lower light, maybe up to...
You can start with 100, 250 bars. You can also go to 500 if you like it. But it should be really a little bit more easy and not that complicated in every step. So you can take it with the LED, you can take it with, if you have a metal halide and if you have still a T5, then you can create very nice reef tanks, and that should be the first point. And later we can discuss about it if the tip of a coral can get a little bit better color when I use this brand or this brand. So this is not the case of a habitat. Habitat is the base. How we do it, it's a recipe and it's a help to creating a nice reef where you can be proud a little bit of it. Oh, this animal and this animal. And In fact, when you find a nice animal in a fish store, like a tube worm or whatever, you won't buy that and you won't keep that, and you don't want to stay there and say, "Oh no, I cannot buy the tube worm. It comes from Indonesia and not from Fiji." So this is a hobby. We have to have fun with it, and this is the way to do it.
So that's like a general philosophy and an idea, but that we have to not have at all to be really straight by numbers. Let's say that. Okay.
Yeah, that's the fun reef if you like it on that way. Because the other habitats like US style, you have clear rules. The ready to reef is a just more easy way, but the outer reefs or the SPS reefs or Fiji, Bali, zeolite system is very strict to follow, and you have not many space to play to have the success. And I think I don't like the word expert. We are all not experts, so we have maybe experience, but that's it. But we learn over the years that to keep these high-end acroporas with 3-4 colors, with polyp extensions, needs a lot of time, a lot of discipline, needs really, really, really good make products. And it's like you are a chef with 1 or 2 stars to keep these tanks over years stable. It's the most people cannot do it because they don't have the time, they need to work, or whatever reasons they have. And for that, we put the other habitats, which in my opinion, they're not less nice or something like that. It's only a different kind.